If he blocked me, I'm not supposed to block him back. Who the fuck do you think I am? And then it's like he want me to take it somewhere, but it's like he woke up with a demon in him. I don't know about y'all, but y'all can keep them nonchalant, like act like they don't care niggas, like, and just like trash. And what I mean by that, like, I love when a nigga can like reassure me, like, tell me like you don't want nobody else in the world. Maybe I ain't even gonna say I'm delusional, like, bitch, no, tell me that I'm not the girl that you don't want.
This is Maurice Harrison, known across the digital landscape as Girllala, a 21-year-old transgender woman whose infectious personality and ever-changing collection of colorful wigs captivated hundreds of thousands of followers across TikTok. But on a Friday evening in Lauderdale Lakes, Florida, Maurice's vibrant life would be violently extinguished in front of a family friend's home. The person who ended her life was her boyfriend, Shanoid White Jr., who was the very man friends and family had reportedly warned her about time and time again. How many red flags does someone have to see before they realize they're in a relationship that could cost them everything? But before we examine the devastating events of that fatal Friday, let me take you back to understand exactly who Maurice Harrison was, and more importantly, how she ended up trapped in a cycle of violence that her loved ones desperately tried to pull her away from. Maurice Harrison wasn't just another face in the crowded world of social media influencers. She had carved out a distinctive space for herself on TikTok, where authenticity and personality reigned supreme. Under the username Girllala, Maurice built a following that numbered in the hundreds of thousands, drawn to her unfiltered commentary on relationships, life, and the complexities of navigating the world as a young transgender woman. Maurice had been involved with Shanoid White Jr. for what friends described as a couple of years, though some sources suggest the relationship may have extended even longer. What began as romance had deteriorated into something far more sinister, with friends noting that the couple had a documented history of fighting and arguing. These weren't minor disagreements or the typical ups and downs that characterize most relationships. These were intense, volatile confrontations that should have served as unmistakable warning signs that Maurice's life was in danger. According to accounts from those close to the situation, Maurice had become Shanoid's first serious relationship with a transgender woman, an experience that had led Shanoid to publicly embrace a new understanding of his sexuality. This public acknowledgement created a particular kind of attachment, one that would later manifest in possessive and controlling behavior when Maurice attempted to establish boundaries or end the relationship. The stakes from Shanoid's perspective weren't just about losing a romantic partner. They were about confronting questions of identity and dealing with the social implications of having publicly come out in a relationship that was now ending. But Maurice's troubles extended beyond just her romantic entanglements. Her life had been marked by encounters with the criminal justice system that complicated her circumstances even further. In videos posted to her social media accounts, Maurice addressed her legal situation with characteristic bluntness.
Why I'm going to jail? If I tell y'all one more time why I'm going to jail, I did fucking fraud. That's why I'm going to jail.
She had been convicted of fraud charges, a situation that had resulted in jail time. Rather than hide from this reality, Maurice confronted it head-on with her followers, maintaining the authenticity that had made her popular in the first place. The circumstances surrounding Maurice's arrest were captured in another video that she shared with her audience, providing a glimpse into her personality even in difficult moments.
Yeah, we're going to the station right now. Ooh, I can't believe y'all really drove 5 hours for a bad bitch like me.
I can't believe it either.
Yes, y'all could have at least waited till my hair was done. Like, oh my God. Y'all, we at the station, please. At the station. Oh, I don't gotta go through there?
We're going to go through there.
Oh, okay. Yes, y'all.
We can't go through there because the
Bun
delay
pay
would be
for
a
a bun
huge
money,
delay.
put up all that.
Even facing the prospect of incarceration, Maurice maintained her sense of humor and her concern for her appearance, the very things that had endeared her to her followers. While Maurice was behind bars, unable to control her online presence or monitor what was being said, Shanoid apparently made statements on TikTok that Maurice later became aware of. According to accounts from those familiar with the situation, whatever Maurice heard during her jail time contributed to her decision to end the relationship with Shanoid. She had realized that she wanted something different for her life, a fresh start, away from the volatility and danger that had characterized her relationship. It was a decision that demonstrated Maurice's strength and her desire for self-preservation, but tragically, it was a decision that would ultimately cost her everything. When Maurice was released from jail, she had clarity about what she needed to do. She broke up with Shanoid. determined to pursue a better life and forge a new path forward. According to detailed accounts from family friends who witnessed the situation firsthand, Maurice stayed at a family friend's house after getting out of jail, deliberately keeping her release quiet because she didn't want certain people knowing she was out. This level of secrecy wasn't paranoia. It was a calculated attempt at self-preservation. Maurice understood that if Shanoid knew where she was and that she was accessible, there would be confrontation. She was attempting to create distance and boundaries, giving herself space to heal and move forward. But Shanoid had other plans. Despite Maurice's attempts to keep her location private, Shanoid would drive up and down the street where the family friend's house was located. He was actively searching for her, refusing to accept that she had ended things. From Shanoid's perspective, Maurice's decision to end the relationship represented something more than just a romantic breakup. There were reports suggesting that Shanoid struggled with the idea that a trans that made him come out gay was now trying to break up with him. Shanoid had publicly embraced a relationship that challenged his previous understanding of his own sexuality, and now that same person was rejecting him. The reported internal dialogue was something along the lines of, "You're my first, you're breaking up with me, and it's hard for me to go back straight because I went public with you." And then there's the detail that makes everything exponentially more terrifying. This wasn't the first time Shanoid had used violence against Maurice. According to information that came to light after the fatal incident, there had been a previous shooting incident involving the couple. In this earlier incident, Shanoid had shot at Maurice, but miraculously, she'd only been grazed by the bullet. Maurice chose not to publicize this incident. Nobody in her wider circle knew about it, though there was a police report documenting what had occurred. This earlier act of violence should have resulted in intervention, in separation, in consequences that might have prevented what was to come. Instead, Maurice survived that first attempt on her life, only to face another, more determined one just weeks after leaving jail. Maurice had revealed her own vulnerabilities and what she valued in romantic partnerships.
I don't know about y'all, but y'all can keep them nonchalant, like, act like they don't care niggas, like, and just, like, trash. And what I mean by that, like, I love when a nigga can, like, reassure me, like, tell me, like, you don't want nobody else in the world. Maybe I ain't even gonna say I'm delusional, like, bitch, no, tell me that I'm not the girl that you don't want.
She acknowledged being an overthinker, someone who worried about where her partner was and what they were doing.
In a relationship, I feel like fellas should do that regardless of the fact being that knowing that your girl's an overthinker, and it's like, in the society that we in now, it's like, everybody be cheating on everybody. Bitch, we all Cheetos. But now, talk about me, I'm just saying, in the generation we in now, it's just like, even down to the married people be cheating. But yeah, like I was saying, like, me personally, being that I'm an overthinker, I love when a man, like, reassure me, because it's like, I'm not saying it in a way like I'm insecure or whatever, but I'm saying it in a way like, if I'm dating you or whatever and I'm in love with you, I'm always worried about what you doing, where you at, how you feeling, you know what I mean? Like, let me know if y'all, like, fucking with it or not. Or maybe I'm just delusional. I don't know. I hate getting on here talking to y'all like that, because, like, I be feel like I sound so dumb, but, like, let me know what's up.
This vulnerability, this desire for connection and reassurance, made Maurice someone who might stay in relationships longer than she should have, hoping that things would improve or that the person would change. There's also evidence of the day-to-day volatility Maurice experienced in her relationship. In one video, she discussed waking up to find that he had blocked her, pondering whether she should block him back or what the appropriate response should be.
If he blocked me, I'm not supposed to block him back. It's like, he blocked me, I blocked him.
The thread continued, with Maurice describing the emotional whiplash of the relationship, noting that it felt like her partner had woken up with a demon in him, and anticipating that they would end up fighting regardless of how she chose to respond to the situation.
If he blocked me, I'm not supposed to block him back. It's like, he blocked me, I blocked him. Like, he making it seem like he's something. If he blocked me, I'm not supposed to block him back. Who the fuck do you think I am? And then it's like, he want me to take it somewhere, but it's like he woke up with a demon in him. So what y'all think I should do? Should I just get up or just keep laying down? Because if I keep laying down, we're going to end up fighting regardless. But if I get up, I do a little 1-2. After he said what he was saying, because he, like, it's giving like he woke up like 1 to 5. And it's too early. Oh, thank you, Lord, for waking me up. At least I got a chance to say that. Bro, he takes me right. This boy, he want to fight today, and it's early in the morning. I'm not doing it. I'm not fighting him. It's too fucking early. But yeah, I'm gonna let that down for another hour, so he's just gonna have to wait.
The events that unfolded on that tragic Friday in Lauderdale Lakes, according to detailed accounts from witnesses and police documentation, what happened that day were captured on video surveillance in horrifying detail. Footage that should never have existed because the violence it documented should never have occurred. The timeline of that fatal day began around 3 to 5 o'clock in the afternoon when Shanoid picked up Maurice from the family friend's house where she had been staying. Why Maurice agreed to go with him remains a question that only she could answer. Perhaps she thought they could have a final conversation. Perhaps he promised it would just be a brief talk to get closure. Perhaps she felt pressured or feared what might happen if she refused. Whatever the reason, Maurice got into that car with Shanoid and they drove away together. Approximately 2 hours later, around 5 to 7 o'clock in the evening, they returned to the family friend's house. But instead of Maurice getting out and going back inside to safety, the couple remained in the vehicle, parked directly in front of the home. They sat in that car together, and according to the Tesla door camera footage that would later prove crucial to the investigation, what happened next was captured with devastating clarity. According to eyewitness accounts of the surveillance footage, Maurice was seated in the passenger seat while Shanoid was in the driver's seat. What occurred next happened with shocking speed and brutality. Shanoid exited the driver's side of the vehicle, retrieved a firearm, and shot Maurice while she remained in the passenger seat. The attack didn't end there. He then walked around to the passenger side of the vehicle, grabbed Maurice by her hair, and pulled her. When Maurice managed to open the passenger door in an apparent attempt to escape, she began falling out of the vehicle. Shanoid caught her before she could fall completely, maintaining his grip on her hair. And from that position, witnesses report that another shot was fired. In those final moments, Maurice was fighting for her life, trying desperately to escape the violence being inflicted upon her. But escape was impossible when the person attacking her was determined to ensure she didn't survive. After the shooting, Shanoid ran to the door of the family friend's house and knocked. The people inside refused to open the door, likely understanding that doing so might result in their own deaths. This detail is particularly chilling, the recognition that Shanoid was such a threat that people who might have wanted to help Maurice were too terrified to open their own door. When Shanoid returned from the door, he called 911 to report what had happened. He remained at the scene, making no attempt to flee. At the time emergency services arrived, Maurice was described as being halfway out of the car, tilted and fighting for her life. Witnesses noted that Shanoid showed no remorse at the scene. He did not attempt to claim self-defense or offer any justification for his actions. Maurice was rushed to the hospital, but the injuries she sustained were too severe. She was pronounced dead shortly after arrival, her life ending at just 21 years old. The Broward Sheriff's deputies arrested Shanoid White Jr. at the scene, charging him with Maurice's death. When Shanoid appeared in bond court that Sunday, the judge found probable cause and ordered that he be held without bond. The evidence against him was overwhelming, not just the physical evidence and witness statements, but the video footage that captured the entire incident. Friends of Maurice's had turned over the Tesla door camera footage to investigators, providing what would likely be a key piece of evidence in the case. In the aftermath of Maurice's death, her family released a statement through Local 10 News, expressing their devastation while requesting privacy and justice. The family stated, "As a family, we appreciate every prayer, kind thought, and gesture during our time of bereavement. Now we are just praying that justice is served to the fullest degree." It was a measured statement from people dealing with unimaginable grief, losing a beloved daughter, and having that loss play out in such a public and violent manner. The tragedy of Maurice's death becomes even more heartbreaking when you understand that this wasn't the first time her family had dealt with gun violence stealing someone they loved. Just over a year before Maurice was killed, her brother had also been shot and killed. This family had already survived one incomprehensible loss, had already mourned one child taken too soon by bullets and violence, and now they were facing it again. The compounding nature of that grief, the way trauma builds upon trauma, makes Maurice's death not just a single tragedy, but part of a larger pattern of violence that has devastated this family. Maurice Harrison, known to hundreds of thousands as Girllala, should still be here. She should be creating content, styling hair, making people laugh with her unfiltered commentary and her endless collection of wigs. She should have the opportunity to build the better life she wanted after leaving jail, to find healthy love, to grow older and wiser. Instead, her life was cut short by someone who couldn't accept that she had the right to choose her own path, someone who viewed her autonomy as a threat that needed to be eliminated. But seeing the red flags and being able to escape them are two different things, especially when the person you're trying to escape from refuses to let you go.
She got out of jail. She broke up with him. She heard what he was saying while on TikTok while she was in jail, and she wanted a better life and a new life. He couldn't accept it. A trans that made him come out gay, try to break up with him. He's like, hold on, you're my first you're breaking up with me and it's hard for me to go back straight because I went public with you. Girllala was out for 2 weeks and he used to drive at the family friend house. So at this time, Girllala was at a family friend house when she got out of jail. He used to drive up and down, stalk Girllala, be at the house when she got out of jail. Girllala didn't want nobody to know she was out of jail. This is what a family friend told me, and I read police paperwork. I can't show it, but I read it. 3 months ago, probably like 4 months ago, he shot Girllala already, and she got grazed from the bullet. She didn't want nobody to know. Nobody didn't know about that situation. There's a police report of that. He already shot her before, but got grazed. The day of the crime scene, it was about approximately 6 p.m. Dispatch was called from him, the shooter, her boyfriend. He called the police. He didn't leave the scene. He stayed on the scene. He didn't call self-defense, any of that. I was told from a friend that was at the house Girllala was with at the time that she was living with where she was staying at. He picked Girllala up around 3 to 5 o'clock. They came back probably 2 hours later. When they came back, they were sitting in the car together in front of the friend family house. When they sat outside in front of the friend family house, I seen it with my own eyes. There is a footage. It shouldn't come out. If people do have it, do not show it. In the footage, what I seen was they're sitting in the car. The footage clear as day. Girllala was in the passenger seat. He was in the driver's seat. He stand outside the driver's seat, took the gun, shot him. It's on camera. He walked around the driver's seat, grabbed Girllala by her hair, and like pulled her hair. He went around the car. Girllala opened the door, fell out the door. He ended up catching her before she fell out the door and grabbed her by the hair. When he grabbed her by the hair, he seen her, and from my angle, it looked like another shot was fired. He ran to the door, to the family door, knocked on the door. They didn't open it, and I figured the family opened it because they probably thought he would have shot them too. When he come back from the door, he ended up calling the police. When he called the police, Lala's on like halfway out the car, tilting, fighting for her life. There was no remorse at all. He stayed on the scene. They arrested him on the scene in a police paperwork.
Did you also see the red flags? Let me know in the comments section. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.